We were halfway across the Atlantic when I got a call saying there'd been an incident in New York.
I'm reporting live at Gander Airport where the 19th plane has just touched down.
Gander Town Council declares a state of emergency.
We landed on this rock in the middle of nowhere.
My son's a firefighter in New York, and I couldn't get through to him.
They needed food, bed, clothes.
Here, when a stranger knocks on your door, we take care of them.
And the thing is,
it's all true.
Coming up on the show this evening, we're talking about a show which is on its way to the Grand Opera House, a show that everybody is talking about. It's won numerous awards. We're talking about Come From Away, and that show comes to Belfast Grand Opera House between the 25th and the 29th of June. It's a remarkable true story, and one of the people starring in the show is a guy from Belfast, Mark Dugdale, who joins us now. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for joining us. You're joining us from your dressing room in Dublin, I believe, at the moment.
Yeah, we're here at the Board Gosh Theatre for until literally right before Belfast. So we're here for another week and a half.
Well, it must be good after touring for so long to get slightly closer to home.
Oh, it's been lovely. Do you know, I have to say that was one of the main reasons why I took the job, because it was like, oh God, I get to go home with this show. It was a real pull for me, you know.
So is London home for you these days?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I mean, like I have lived there for a long time because I guess that's where most of my work would be. But I mean, I come back home and work as much as I can as well. I was in the Lyric there for Christmas, doing Hansel and Gretel. Yeah, so any chance I do get to come back to Belfast, I'll jump at it, you know, bite their hand off.
Tell us about Come From Away. This show's been winning Olivier Awards, Tony Awards. It is the show that everybody's talking about, so it must be a great show to be involved in.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I've been in the show pretty much since it opened. Actually back in Dublin in 2019-18, you know, so it's just one of those shows you do, and I don't think I've ever experienced anything like it. The reaction that it gets at the end of the show, it's obviously a true story. Everything we say on stage completely is verbatim. It was a sort of a weird sort of backdrop. It said, obviously, after the 9/11 happened, they closed the airspace in America. So they landed all these 38 jumbo jets in Newfoundland, in Canada. And it's about the 5 days of these people, 7,000 people who are, I guess, fundamentally refugees, landed displaced. And those people were from all around the world, including people from Belfast. I actually met a few people who were on those flights randomly in Leeds. And they were from Northern Ireland, and they were like, we were there in Newfoundland, and I was like, oh, I was, you know. So you keep because it's a true story, you forget that there's just so many people that were there, you know. And our story is a 9/12 story. It's about what happened after that horrendous event, and the kindness of the people of Newfoundland, the human spirit, just looking after everyone that came. They said that when they arrived, they had 7,000 strangers, and about the 5 days after they left, they had 7,000 family members. Wow. That they, you know, it's really honest to God, I've never felt part of something so special. It's lovely.
And tell us about the character that you play.
So, well, we all multi-role, but my main character would be a character called Kevin, and he is one of the many of the 7,000. And it just had a real profound influence on his life. He was, I guess, raised a Catholic and sort of fallen out of, you know, religion and stuff. He's a gay man, and he's in a relationship that is tumultuous, and he sort of sees the humanity and the human spirit of the people in Gander, and it sort of reawakens a sort of a spiritual connection for him. And he has since set up a charity called Pay It Forward 9/11 that, you know, it's just about doing random acts of kindness, you know. So and I've been in touch with him. I've met him. He's a lovely, lovely man. He's just a really, really nice it's very strange meeting someone that you play. It's weird, but it's been an eye opener, you know. But we don't try to do like a sort of an impression of anyone. We do sort of our version of that person, you know.
Now, tell us about some of the other characters that we meet along the way. We meet a quick-thinking town mayor, we meet the mother of a New York firefighter, and we meet a local news reporter, and as well as that, a female airline pilot.
Yeah, you meet Beverly Bass, who was the first American airline pilot. And obviously she's flying one of the flights. I think she was flying from from Paris to Texas. Obviously it has a massive, profound effect on her, because obviously this thing that she loves to do, her job, her life's purpose, is suddenly being used as a bomb, so she has a beautiful song called "Me in the Sky," which our Belfast Rachel Tucker was the original Beverly Bass in London and on Broadway. So it's been lovely. It's just, that song's really special, and it's one of the only moments in the show where someone sits down and sings a big song.
And if you had to choose a highlight from the show, what would it be?
Well, there is a beautiful moment in the show where my character starts to sing a hymn randomly, because he sort of remembers this song that he was, and then it's called the prayer. In the moment in the show, we call it the prayer, and basically then we have the Jewish prayer, and then we have Muslim guy comes in and does a bit, and it's all about these. It's sort of like an interfaith thing. It's like really, really, for me, it's a really beautiful moment in the show, because it just means there's more that brings us together than separates us, especially when it comes to religion. So it's just, I think that's a really profound, beautiful moment for me anyway. And it helps that I'm centre front, so I feel like that. Enjoy that bit. And then there's another bit though that is absolutely great crack. It's called the Screech In, and if you go to Newfoundland and so basically the whole show is called Come From Away, because if you don't come from Newfoundland, you come from away, you come from somewhere else. So they have this ritual where they sort of like induct you into being an honorary Newfoundlander, and you have to drink some crazy drink, you have to kiss a fish, you have to do that's a brilliant scene. We have so much fun doing that every night, and I think the audience really enjoy that, because it's sort of a moment of real silliness and fun.
And what's life on the road like? Because with such a big cast, I would imagine you all have to get on pretty well.
Yeah, we are, honest to God, I think we're a really close-knit bunch now. We've been on the road since, I think, March sort of time. So it's not been a long time, but we've really, really, we're like a big family now, and I haven't toured since, I want to say 2007. So for me, it was a bit of an eye opener, and obviously things are it's a different scope now, but it's been really good fun, I have to say, and bringing this show to seeing how different towns and cities react to it is really, I don't think I was prepared for the Dublin reaction. It was, because it's so sort of, it's so like Celtic in its way, because like at one point, 50% of Newfoundland was Irish immigrants. So the accent's very Irish. The instruments that they brought with them were passed down through. So they're all like, it's all traditional Irish music, to Newfoundland. And I think the Irish people here were just like, went nuts.
And I think you're going to get a similar reaction here in Belfast. And I know the Grand Opera House have already added an extra show.
On the Friday, we're doing, I think it's a 5 and an 8 show on the Friday. So I think for me, just to be able to do this in my hometown is just going to be, it's going to be next level for me. I'm so excited to bring this story home.
Well, here in Belfast, there is, of course, some great theatre companies and a great musical theatre heritage as well. So for any young people watching this who would love to be doing what you're doing today, what advice would you give them?
Well, at one point I was where they were. I was doing, I did things. It was back in the Arts Theatre when it was there, and Michael Pointer's, so like I did the youth lyric. So I was in everything I could get into. St Agnes's Choral Society at one point, at Fort William, and I did them all. And I think the thing is, there's so much talent in Belfast, Northern Ireland, all over. I think for me, it's just keep going. Just if it's something that's in you, just don't stop. And I have this firm belief that if you keep doing something enough, you'll get brilliant at it. So just don't give up, just keep going.
So as well as Come From Away, you've appeared in many great theatre productions, but is this the big one? Is this the ultimate dream job, or is there something else in the world you'd love to do?
I think for me, I grew up on Les Mis, and I think I'd always love to have a wee go at Jean Valjean. But because I've been in Les Mis, but I didn't. Obviously, I was a lot younger then, so I haven't. Maybe that'll come round at some point, But to be fair, this has been. I couldn't ask for, but if I never do another show, if I never get to perform again, this is for me the best piece of theatre I've been involved in thus far.
Well, Come From Away runs at the Grand Opera House from the 25th until the 29th of June. Mark, lovely talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you so much, Robin. Cheers. Thanks for having me.